In this video, we're going to be talking about ways to remotely control the Panasonic EVA1. This here is a Panasonic AW-EVA1. This is a wireless remote control adapter. It's right here into the USB port that's designed for it. You now have the ability to create wireless control, which can be controlled by all sorts of devices. Apple iPad, iPhone, Android tablet, or even an Android phone. All sorts of different devices you can use. What we're going to show you today is how to connect these devices to the camera in the simplest possible way so that you can get up and running immediately and remote controlling your camera. And once you have that adapter installed, now we got to go into the camera menus. And the very first thing you want to do, go down to the Network Settings menu, go to Network Tools, and say Initialize. This will give you a blank slate. This will give you all camera defaults. So if you've been playing with it and trying to set it up and change some settings and you couldn't get it to work, this is going to reset us all back to ground zero. Once you've done the initialization, exit from that, go to Network Cell, Network Selection, and choose WLAN. That'll actually enable the network adapter and get it sending out a signal. Once you've done that, go into the network property, and we have to choose the type of network that we're going to use. And the type for this example, we're going to use direct. With direct connection, the camera will actually be broadcasting its own network. You're not joining any other network. The camera's going to create a network, and we're going to have the device, the tablet or the phone, connect to that network. So we tell it the type is direct. Below that, you'll see the SSID. You want to take note of this because you're going to have to join that network on your device. If you're using multiple cameras, you may want to have each one of them have their own name. So obviously, AU-EVA1 will be the first one, maybe AU-EVA2 will be the next. And you'll have a direct connection between your device and each camera. And then you want to look at the DHCP, make sure that it says server. As long as that says server, you're going to be in good shape. Because then you look below that, you see your IP address. Take note of that, write that down. We need to know that when we go to the device. So with that, if you exit out of the menus, and let me tell you, this is a crucial step. Exit out of the menus. You can't connect to the camera if it's still in the menus. I forget this all the time. I'm just saving you a lot of hassle. Exit all the way out of the menus. What you'll see in the lower left corner, you should see a little Wi-Fi broadcasting icon showing that the network adapter is active and not currently connected to anything. Well, let's go connect it to something. We'll start with the Apple iPad. It's very simple to do. It's a two-step process. First, we have to go into the settings icon and go in where the Wi-Fi is, and we have to connect to the network that the camera is creating. So when you choose Wi-Fi, make sure Wi-Fi is set to on, obviously. You should see a list of available networks and one in specific, AU-EVA1. Connect to that. Next, we have to run the EVA-ROP app, EVA-ROP. You get this from the Apple App Store, or if you're on an Android phone, you can get it from Google's Play Store. And you have to get the specific app I'm telling you, the EVA-ROP. Download that and install that on your device, and then run that app. It's going to come up and try to connect to the camera. It's not going to be able to because we haven't told it where the camera is yet. So in the upper left corner, there's a gear icon. When you press that, it'll bring up asking you for the IP address, a username, and password. Well, here's the fun part. You don't need the username and password. It just knows. The default is going to work for you. So all you need to do is enter in the same IP address that the camera was reporting in its menus. And click OK, and then the pad will be able to connect to the camera. Now, once you have your device connected, you're going to see there is a tremendous amount of control that you can get. It's not like the prior ROP apps. ROP is Remote Operation Panel. And in this camera, you have access to the full menus. You have access to all the user buttons. You can change the neutral density filter. You can start and stop recording, obviously. You can see the time code. You can see the shutter display and change the shutter speed. You can control the ISO. You can control really pretty much everything from the device, so it's very powerful. Now let's show you another way to connect to the camera. And in this method, instead of the camera generating a Wi-Fi network, we're going to connect to an existing Wi-Fi network. This could be the Wi-Fi service in your house, for example, or it could be if you're in an office building, you can connect to that. The neat thing about this is it really doesn't matter where the camera is, it doesn't matter where the controller is. As long as both of them can connect to that same network, you could be controlling a camera from halfway around the world. The only challenge is The ROP doesn't receive a video signal. It doesn't stream video back. So actually monitoring, you're going to need a separate video system, but for full control, you can absolutely control it anywhere that that network will reach. So to connect through an existing network, let's go back into the menu system and go back into the network settings. First thing we want to do is initialize. Let's go back to the network tools and initialize it to start over from scratch. Then we go up to network cell again. Make sure that WLAN is chosen. And then we're going to go into the network property menu and choose Infra Select. Last time we had Direct. This time we're going Infra Select. Select brings up a list of the available networks that are in your area, that are around you, that you can join. If you choose Manual, that's for if somebody has a network and they're not broadcasting their SSID, that it's hidden, but it's there and you know the name of it, you can type in the name of the network. But we're going to assume that the network is being broadcasted like most would be in this scenario. So choose Select and it'll bring up a list of available networks. Choose the one that you want to join. Now we have to go down to the encrypt key. That's actually the password for joining the network. So if you know what the router's password is, this is where you enter it. Once you enter that encrypt key, it should join the network. You should be able to exit out of the menus and see that it has this broadcasting icon again. If that's there, the only thing now that we need to know is what is the camera's IP address. So go back into the network settings menu and go to network property. Look at the IP address. Exit the menus. We're going to go over to the app again. Instead of joining the camera's network, we're going to be joining that, the household network or that business network. Whatever network that we join on the camera, we're going to now join on our iPad. So go back to the iPad, go back into the settings, check your Wi-Fi, and make sure that you're joining the same network that the camera joined. Then run the EVA ROP app again. Hit that gear icon in the upper left. And we want to make sure that the IP address that the camera is displaying, what its IP address is, you want to enter that in the IP address field here. We don't really bother with username or password. That's a more advanced thing. You can set up accounts on the camera with different settings and then be able to log into that account. It's not necessary. And remember at the beginning, I said we're going to show you the easy way to do it. So this is the easy way to do it. Just leave that blank and put in the IP address, click OK, and now you have control again. So I've shown you how to do it on the iPad, or obviously iPhone would be the same way. What about on an Android device? It's exactly the same thing. The only real difference whatsoever is in how you connect to the wireless network. And even then, you still do it exactly the same way. You just do it through the Android system. So you have to hit the gear icon and go to your system settings, choose wireless, and connect to the Wi-Fi network that the camera is generating or to that shared network. Whichever way that you did it on the iPad, you're going to do exactly the same way with the Android. Then run the app. You'll get the exact same gear icon. Select that, put in the IP address that the camera is reporting in here, and click OK. And then it will join the camera's network, and now you'll be able to control it remotely with your Android device. I hope this has been helpful, and now you know how to connect your device to the camera and control it remotely. I hope this empowers you to make some outstanding remote-controlled videos. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to the rest of this series for even more tips and tricks on how to use your Panasonic EVA1.
Panasonic